what is integrative thinking? Integrative thinking is a method which will help you to solve any kind of wicked problem, any kind of trouble, any kind of challenges which you see I am not able to make up, I'm not able to overcome. Now, normally what happens? Normally we use our normal thought process, and whenever we are in any challenge, whether it is financial challenge or relationship challenge or a business challenge, we have two things: either do it or either not do it. But integrative thinking is going to help you to discover something more beyond about you. Now, what do I mean by more beyond about you? Now, normally if say you have somebody as a patient in the house and you're at a situation, should I leave out my home or shouldn't I leave out of my home? You're exactly in between these two thought processes. Here is where you can use an integrative thinking process. Now, what do I do in order to leave? Now, normally when you're sitting idly at the home, you'll be like, no, he's not well or she's not well. I should be sitting home. I should not leave them all alone. And this you make decision yes or no. And now this decision making habit of yes and no is actually a habit which creates a lot of challenges for many people. Why? Because life is every time just not about doing it and not doing it. It is sometimes about what do we do which could be better for us? How can we handle situations differently? Let me put an example at the moment. Say across the world, there are a lot of challenges. There's a global warming. There is a political uncertainty. People are, talking about religion. People are talking about this, that. There's a lot of uncertainty. There's a financial crisis in different countries. So let's pull one example of, say, a country known as Greece. Now, Greece as a country is certainly in big financial challenge. Almost they have lost their country. How about this? What if we put a lot of people from a different mindset? Say, for example, we start putting an architect, a doctor, a financial guy, a banker, a business owner, a artist, a different kind of service employee mindset guy, few company CEOs, few managing directors, few women, few young boys, and all these people, if we put in a single room and just give them that this is what is the current situation of this country, Greece, tell me, according to you, what can we do in order to come out of this situation? What are the things we can do which can help this country further to scale up? Do you agree that what I'm saying makes sense? If there is a problem in the country, there have to be people from different domain and mindset sitting in a room and start exploring possibilities. And if you think you believe in this idea of start exploring different possibilities, then please say yes. Please say yes on your message. If you believe that one has to have different mindset, have to explore different possibilities of any challenge, okay. So, well, you believe that, right? But what happens in our day-to-day life? Are we actually working towards whenever we are stuck in a challenge? Like, say, for example, few people might be stuck in a challenge like, I'm not in a position at the moment to make a decision of buying a house. I'm not in a moment to make a decision to buy a house. I am right now in challenge on my debt trap. I'm completely into debt. I need to repay my loans. I have so on and so forth to do. I don't have a cash flow. What if you're in a position where you have some properties which are a very high value properties, but you're not able to sell this property, and you've been thinking over last 2 years? What if you have a business and that business is giving a certain kind of income and you're really not able to understand what should be my next move to actually enhance and escalate my business to entirely next level? What is that I need to do? And you're still in the same cycle. But are we really moving out of can do or can't do, should do or should not do? Just mere energy which says, hey, I'm going to go for it, I'm going to make big. That's not enough, right? You need to get into a thinking process, a kind of pattern which will help you and your organization, you and your money, you and your family to actually overcome those challenges. Now, when you believe a group of people in a room solving a Greece country problem and start exploring opportunities, possibilities, and ideas, to the management, to the country, to the people who are key decision makers, probably that would be one of the good things. And what if they try and get a solution out of it, and the country gets more number of years to come out of the country's debt. Likewise, now every time you and me are not going to get a group of people. You and me are not going to get a group of people always where we can just put a problem and wait for getting a solution. Do you agree? Now for you, when you know you have a problem and you can't extract solution, what is that you need to do? You need to build an integrative thinking pattern. Now what is this thinking pattern, Nikhil? What are you talking about this pattern? This pattern is nothing but a pattern which will help you to explore different possibilities of thinking. Let me break up for the benefit of all of you. Let me break up this pattern into 3 different types. Type 1 could be you're taking a stand. Now, what do you mean by taking a stand? This is a situation, like let's draw down a particular example which was a successful case study for me. So here was a client who is a doctor and who is in complete debt trap, who's running a hospital and has a total expenditure of 22 lakh rupees per month. But his income was at 15 lakh rupees per month. And here there is a 7 lakh rupees shortage every month. He's losing his capital or net worth. Now here is a problem. Now this problem we try and went into integrative thinking. Now what is that he stands for? Where is he standing at the moment? Then we understand, we asked ourselves question number 1, how can I leverage what he has? Now he has a hospital, he has a certain square feet in the hospital. Can we go forward leveraging it? Rather than saying business is not good, patients are not coming, or my expenditure is too high, I don't know what to do at the moment. He's not using possibilities. And if he's using possibility, maybe 1 or 2 or 3. But integrative thinking is going to help you to explore into multiple possibilities. So we first started with leveraging. What is that we can leverage what he has at the moment? So we had certain square feet in the hospital which was underutilized. We started using those square feet as a hospital. We saw few things which was getting outsourced can come in-house. And we told him to further go forward and take a machine which can do some kind of common testing which was there in that area. At the same time, we saw some bedrooms were not getting filled. So we recommended him to give it to certain doctors to run their practices in each and every room. And then because they were doctors and practicing, the testing lab was there in the hospital. All the doctors utilized the testing lab for the benefit of the client, and they had testing reports then and there to solve the problem of the patient, which not only did that work, there was a revenue started in the testing lab, and there was an increase of revenue in the pharma. Not only that, selling tablets, there was an increase of revenue to the hospital because he leased each room to different types of doctor. Now look, where he thought there was no possibilities, using integrative thinking method, he was in a position to actually enhance the income in his hospital. But will that be enough? Not really. You need to go more further deep about integrative thinking. Now, another thing which we can look into, what is the current model in which he's existing? What is the current model? How this model could have worked differently for him? And he needs to write all possible possibilities and see which model can be changed for the benefit of the system or the hospital. But now taking a stand, having tools, and having your experience. These are 3 different thinking patterns which you can keep it in your mind when it comes to integrative thinking. Taking stand is what I've been talking to you about, leveraging, about looking into current models, about finding out the current complexity within the business and seeing how this complexity will influence other decisions, and start writing it on the piece of paper. So your personal financial decision, what if you're having a stock and you bought it at 100 rupees and today it is at 60 rupees. You're completely stuck. Whether should I have it or not have it? If I sell the stock, then what will I buy? Should I hold the stock? Then how long would I hold? What is the right thing to do? When it comes to real estate, you have the same thinking. When it comes to any financial decision, you are having the same thinking. You're always putting yourself into one problem to do it or not to do it. But here we are trying to say out of this webinar that integrative thinking, you need to start thinking in different patterns. Now let's move on to tools. Like for example, what kind of tools are we talking about? We need to also start dreaming and imagining. God has given you dreaming and imaginatory power. Do you agree? Yes. God has given you an imaginatory power, a dreaming power. You need to sit and start dreaming how it will look like if this happens. You need to imagine few things. You need to forecast few things out of all the decision which you think in your mind. But you need to do it. Everything you think of moving, you need to start imagining how to look like. Because maybe this hospital idea of using the rooms, putting a lab, increasing the say income and revenue, but if he imagines, he will try to understand what are the risks involved, or what is that he can't do it, or what is that he's committed to something. So only imaginatory thinking will help you that. We use such kind of thinking as abductive thinking. However, then what is that you can do? You should also try to see what is your current experience pattern towards solving the same subject matter. Third thing, we need to also give generative reasoning. Now, any decision you're going to change, okay, I'm going to sell this stock of HPCL, and you need to give an absolute reasoning to it. Why am I doing this? What is my ultimate objective? Am I taking the right decision for myself? Will it make benefit for me to move from this stock to that stock? You have to give absolute reasoning to yourself. That will probably give you more ideas, more clarity whether your decisions are right or wrong. Especially when it comes to your real estate, because that's a decision which not everybody is able to take quickly for themselves. Then what else you can do? You can certainly become like an advocate. You can be in an assertive mode. You can always ask a probe question. No, this is wrong. This is not the right way. Should I do this? Will this be benefiting to me? What if I don't do it? Become an advocate suddenly of your own decision. So which will give you a different perspective, negative, to forecast today itself. And put that only as an information. Don't jump to decision. Once you get into experience-based planning, then you get into tool-based planning. Tool is a tool which God has given you. The thinking tool, the questioning tool, the rejection tool, and all that. You can use this tool and be like an advocate, start imagining things, start visualizing it, understand your current circumstances. Okay, start looking into that and use this tool for solving your matter. The third thing, what you could do is probably use your experience. When I say the word experience, I want you to become a master. You become a master of deep reasoning, Go deeper and deeper inside and become a deepening master. Just try and see, this is what I was looking for. What is that my experience speaks about it? How is that I was successful in the past, and why is that I'm not successful at this moment? How I used to solve my old challenges, and what is that not making me to solve these challenges? And don't find reasons why not to do it, and neither find reasons why to do it. Just find reasons. Don't confuse. Integrative thinking is going to help you between your experiences, your stance, and your tool, and give you more possibilities and probabilities to try and understand whether this decision, whichever you are going to make in your financial life, how much useful is that decision going to help you to create wealth. Now let's complete this doctor's example by which we can understand complete integrative thinking. So we went into advocacy mode. What will happen? Will there be a license problem? Will there be a medical problem? We became an advocate to this thinking. Then we were trying to imagining how it will look like. What will be the perseverance of people outside the hospital? How the patients are going to treat this hospital as if we are going to take this decision. And we were absolutely using all the tools for the hospital, whether it works better for us or not. Then we enter into the experience side of it, which is deepening, looking everything into great deep. Why did I started this hospital? This is what I'm looking at. Will this give me a kind of results which I wanted? What is my past experiences? What is happening in other side of the world? What are different people doing that? After all that planning, we tried and understood the problem is just not with the hospital and the clients or the patients coming inside. The problem was with his financial pattern. Because of integrative thinking, we tried and discovered there was a thinking pattern which was not going right for him. He's in a certain habit. You and me, we both are in a certain habit of our life. It's a thinking pattern which we are carrying. Is this thinking pattern good for the family, good for the business, good for the financial decisions or not? However, I would say one thing, even if it is good or bad, I want you to start looking into an integrative thinking method so that all the possibilities and probabilities are well addressed pre-handed, We found with this doctor that this doctor had a problem with his borrowing pattern. Now, borrowing pattern, when we looked into it, we never realized after taking care of his hospital loan, his housing loan, his car loan, his personal loan, personal liabilities, we went and restructured everything. Certainly we created a benefit out of that, but still there was something wrong which was happening. And the wrong we found out was this doctor has invested money into chit funds. Now, chit fund savings are not a bad tool, but it's neither a good tool if you are borrowing the money before, if you're having an early borrowing. Doctor never realized that his borrowings were costing him anywhere between 18% to 24%. And that was the key. This doctor had more than 21 chits. How many chits? 21 chits of 5 lakh, 10 lakh, 15 lakh. And he was completely into chit fund trap. Now, because he was in chit fund trap, and then we worked with the doctor continuously, we spoke to every chit fund house. We wanted to we utilized the integrative thinking method and spoke to the chit fund owners and told them, though there are 10 months left, what if I give you the whole lump sum money fully in your hand? What is that you can do for my client, my doctor? And then people rejected. They were not interested. They said, you pay the duration time. When the time is there, you keep paying money at that time. We are okay. We don't need the money now. I said, see, I don't guarantee you tomorrow's money. I can guarantee you today that I can give you the lump sum. Whatever is your lump sum, 10 more months left, 15 more months left, I'll give you 15 more months payment. But you tell me, what is that you can do for us? Finally, he said, okay, give me the money. I'm okay. We'll close it. I said, no, we need the benefits. I'm going to give you the money. You will be utilizing this money at a rate of 18%. So how about this? The 10 months, 18% income, can you give me right away? Discount it in my overall payment mode. So rather than my client paying interest, we actually gave him the money, deducting the interest inside it for 18 months. Not only that, we also told him the past interest which he collected from the client, if he can minimize it to 12%. And after all the negotiation, we were able to do this. And you know, friends, what we did through integrative thinking method, we understood that taking a new loan for my client, which was at 10.65%, was much more beneficiary than keeping all his chits which he accumulated, 21 chits which he accumulated. Friends, this case, this hospital not only reduced his expenditure from 22 lakh to 14 lakh, but he also increased his income from 15 lakhs to 16.5 to 17 lakhs, and there was an absolute gap of 3 lakh positive per month. It's just not about 3 lakh positive per month. The 7 lakh which was in minus, so there was an absolute difference per month of more than 10 to 11 lakh for this client only through integrative thinking. Now, the reason behind telling all these case studies to you, the information about integrative thinking, unknowingly many a times we do this kind of thinking pattern, but we do this thinking pattern for all small things. Whenever the bigger thing comes, whether I should stay with my son, whether I should have my daughter at my house, what if I'm not able to make a decision whether this is a great alliance for my daughter, will this investment be good, what if this investment goes for a toss, all these kind of stucking problem, and you don't land up taking any decision. Should I leave my house? Should I go to a rental house? Should I leave my ownership house? Will this be benefiting to me and my family? These are certain kind of thinking. Trust me, friends, if integrative thinking leads you to a direction to sell your own house and get into a rental house to take care of all your financial matters, do that. Nobody, you don't need any advisory, don't need any consultancy. All you need to do is start looking into integrative thinking pattern, put a lot of people into the position of that pattern, try and explore the possibilities. You will get answer which you're looking for. Answer could be good, answer could be bad in your terminology, but in my terminology, answer is an answer which can benefit you and your family, you and your organization, and you and your wealth. All that I would like to say you, never get yourself stuck into problem. Never put yourself into a situation where you think I can't. Utilize this pattern of integrative thinking, which is awesomely awesome, which helps so many people, and it has helped my organization to help my clients continuously.